Now back to Kenya, where its leading tea producer, the Kenya Tea Development Agency, has announced a 21% jump in farmers' earnings for the 2014-2015 financial year to about $596 million. Now $405 million of this money will be paid out to smallholder tea farmers as bonuses. The price of tea has continued to climb in Kenya in the last 2 months, and CEO of KTDA, Leonika Tiampati, attributed the rise in the dollar, stable global tea prices, and of course good harvests this year as some of the factors that led to the increase in bonuses. Now I spoke to him about his outlook for the sector in the second half of this year. Now you're raising annual bonuses for farmers, and they'll actually be seeing relief of about 31 shillings to 41 shillings per kilogram, certainly an increase from last year. What are the factors that led to you increasing their bonuses?
I think the first thing that has changed is that the average prices improved by about 7% compared to the same period last year. The exchange rate is much more favorable. As you probably know, that for the period we are talking about 91 shillings to the dollar as compared to, I think it was 87 or thereabouts to the dollar this previous period. And then I also said that we had carryover stocks from the last period, which we sold in the current year. Therefore, our volumes were up by about 1%.
But Kenya's tea output fell about 22% in the first half of this year. And you said that crop out levels were actually down 30% between January to September. How is this going to impact farmers? And certainly, how does this impact your outlook going forward?
Between December and February, there was a drought, and I was able to show you the impact it had on the on the tea bushes, and I think that is a major determinant. So that brought down a huge drop in production, and therefore an increase in the tea prices. Now going forward, we hear about El Nino. We don't know whether it is going to be real or not, but if it is indeed going to be real, then it will have another impact because it affects the tea crop itself, it affects infrastructure, the roads, the power, and so on.
Now, one of your roles is to provide extension services for farmers, and a particularly important area is energy. Now, you invested about 4.8 million shillings in constructing hydropower plants. Can you give us an update on these projects, and what is the reason for the delays?
We carried out feasibility studies. We had to identify contractors, design and build. And we have made a lot of progress. As we speak right now, a number of projects are on the pipeline. And as I mentioned, the 5.8 megawatt Gura project will probably be ready first quarter next year. We have Chania, which will probably be ready by December this year. And this is a very important initiative because energy accounts for about 30% of our costs. And electrical energy is really one of the major contributors.
Now, you mentioned your cost of production was up about 11%. Now, besides energy, what other challenges are you facing, and what are you doing to mitigate these challenges?
So already on energy, we are doing the mitigations through investment in renewable energy. And apart from hydro, we are looking at solar. In terms of labor, we are looking at automation in our factories, various forms of automation. And therefore, this is a continuing exercise. We are looking at the efficiency within the factories themselves. Fertilizer, not too much we can do. It's a function of oil prices. So when they are high, we have no choice. But we continue to source our fertilizer as one block, and therefore we're able to enjoy economies of scale, and therefore much more competitive prices compared to that if you brought out in the market. And as I mentioned again, the issue of product diversification and market diversification, we are investing in new technology to be able to manufacture new types of teas, which will hopefully open new markets for our new products.